Hey again, I wanted to take a quick minute to talk about, sorry, it's my second time through this one, I got tongue-tied. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the unit circle and what happens if we're above pi over 2 real quick. And I kind of left that out of the last video. So again, if we remember, this is going to be a pi over 6 angle, that's a 30 degree. This is going to be a pi over 4. This one right here is a pi over 3. And if I look at this whole thing, all the way up to here is pi over 2. I said that all the way around to 180 degrees was a pi. A lot of times I like to think of it as, let's say, 6 pi over 6, 3 pi over 3. It helps me figure out where I am in the unit circle. I feel like I moved a line up and down. There we go. And then remember, this right here is either 0 if I'm here, or 2 pi right down here. Okay, so those are the same angle. So if I'm looking, let's say, I actually think I moved this circle. Let's see, get it in the right place. There we go. All right, that's better. Sorry. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put numbers on this. If I think back to the previous video, remember what we had was I said this is at 1/2 on my x value, root 3 over 2 on my y value. I thought of that because I know that this is 0 and 1, and so I counted up on my x-axis because I have a bigger x component, and down on my y. So sometimes I start at pi over 2, sometimes I start at 0. You can start wherever you want, whatever makes the most sense to you. So if I want to look at, let's say, an angle right over here, what I'm looking at is that this angle right here is actually 2 pi over 3, which means that this angle right down here is a pi over 3. That gives me the same numerical values, thinking absolute value-wise, as this one. Like the ordered pair is going to be the same. The only difference is that my x value is going to be negative when I go into that second quadrant. So what I'm going to have is, oh, well, that's still the thing. What I'm going to have is a negative 1/2 and a root 3 over 2, because my y value is still positive. All right. If I were to flip around and I were to go to the, let's say, the third quadrant over here, a nice straight line. All right, so I have everything to here is pi over 3. This is 2 pi over 3. Everything going to here is the same as 3 pi over 3, because if I multiply top and bottom by 3, I get a 3 pi over 3 here. That means that this whole angle going around is going to be a 4 pi over 3. Okay. The reference angle, though, is still a pi over 3, right? This little reference angle right here is still a pi over 3. So if I look at that and I want to go ahead and find that ordered pair, big surprise, it's the exact same numbers. It's just this time both the x and the y value, because I'm down there in the third quadrant, both of them are negative. So I'm at negative 1/2, negative root 3 over 2. All right. Fourth quadrant. Again, I'm adding a pi over 3 to it, all right? So I'm going to have all the way around, I'm running out of room here. All right, this is going to be 5 pi over 3, that whole angle. But again, I have a little reference angle right here, just going to the nearest axis of pi over 3, right? The nearest x-axis. And so I have that reference angle there. Again, my numbers are going to be the same. They're still going to be that 1/2 and root 3 over 2. This time the x is positive because I'm in the positive x-axis range, but my y-axis is going to stay negative. All right, so we can kind of see how the unit circle works there. Again, if you're not familiar with why this works, go back and watch the previous video and look at that triangle. If you still have questions, let me know. I'm happy to help. But hopefully this helps you see how you can do this. This applies for my pi over 4, pi over 6. The same basic idea is working. I just showed it with pi over 3. All right. Okay, I hope you have a marvelous day. Bye-bye.